Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I introduce you to the next Alpine. We already had Pierre Gasly with the number 10 and now we continue with the number 31, Esteban Ocon. The same vehicle as we had before the Alpine. I wanted to say is with Gasly. This is the same vehicle again. Everything is the same, the prints are the same except for the numbers on the vehicle. Here we have the 31 for Esteban Ocon. And of course, not to forget, the helmet is of course different, because each of these premium vehicles has a different helmet. Here we see the helmet of Esteban Ocon. I had already noted this with the other vehicles, the helmets are unfortunately not so good looking. The prints don't look so nice on the helmets, unfortunately very blurry, you can hardly see anything. Maybe here a little bit they're the sponsor, the BWT, or what that is supposed to be, but otherwise really the color suggests that it is the helmet of Esteban Ocon, you have to say, but not much else, which is a pity. Otherwise, the vehicle looks quite cool. As I said, the helmets are unfortunately not so well done. The prints, I think the vehicles themselves are quite okay again. Here again with the white hard tires, as with Pierre Gasly. As I said, it put all the sponsors on it again. The 31 Alpine, on the rear wing it also says Alpine again. And as I said, this is Esteban Ocon's vehicle. And as I said, I had already mentioned it in the other video, Alpine is the Renault factory team from Formula 1. It's actually Renault, is also the only team that has been. Renault engines actually drives. There is no other customer team that drives with Renault engines. Everyone else has Ferrari engines, Mercedes or Honda. Such as Red Bull. Alpine is the only team that actually drives with Renault engines and unfortunately not so successful this year either. However, in 2024 it was still quite good. Pierre Gasly finished the season in 10th place with 42 points. Esteban Ocon was not so good, 14th place with 23 points. In and of itself, I would say it was a pretty good year for Alpine at that time. Now in 2025, unfortunately, they are no longer so far ahead. Unfortunately very bad and far behind at the moment. I'm not sure, I think they're even in last place at the moment. The Formula 1 season is coming to an end. That's why I wanted to present the vehicles from last season here again. From the Hot Wheels Premium Series, I thought this would be a good way to present it again before the Formula 1 season is over. Once again a few technical data. As I said, I had already mentioned it with Gasly, but now again for you, if you haven't seen the Gasly video, the Renault has a 950 horsepower engine, is a hybrid engine, consisting of a combustion engine and electric motor, has a top speed of approximate 350 km/h and acceleration from 0 to 100 km per hour in approximate 2.1 seconds. And as I said, the vehicle itself looks very cool, and if you collect this Hot Wheels Premium Series here from F1, then you have to buy every vehicle, because each vehicle is individual, through the helmets. The helmets are all different, plus the numbers on the vehicles, which is very cool if it's a personal vehicle, like the F1.